So, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and girls, nerds, weebs, and otaku, welcome back and welcome home.
Hello there, Applebiteys. This is your Applebite Written Writ Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, The Written Writ. And I know what you're asking yourself. You're like, Ralph, we saw you guys yesterday. It's Thursday. It's not supposed to be The Written Writ. But this is a special show because we're on our way to Garden State ComicFest. And Bruce and Kike will be there hanging out, doing their stuff, and selling their wares. Look at my wares.
Hopefully wearing clothes.
Hopefully wearing clothes. Trench coats work.
No, and this is in the rink, so we have to wear some little warmies. So
I wonder if this one is going to be as cold as the men in arena.
Well, Dave has been saying that it should be a nice balmy 68. So
that sounds great to me, especially after the week we
had. If that's true, and the water to seep up and stuff, because I'm totally. Though I'll admit I am partial to the cold, man. I love the freezer. I love that I could put my water on the bottom on the floor, and my sandwich will be like a refrigerator.
And it just cools up, yeah.
All day, be cold all day. So.
Oh man. Yeah, folks, I gotta say it was oh my god, because there was a couple of Garden State ComicFests that were really hot, and the saving grace was that rink.
Well, there was one year that it was so hot in the Heroes side that everyone was at the Valens because it was just boiling over there.
Yep.
I think
the air conditioner had stopped working or something, if I remember right.
It was like 2 years ago, and then there was one of the first shows I did, even though I was actually in the ice, the villain, so that's always where I was. It was actually warm. One of the first years I did it, for some reason. But ever since then, it's been like cold. Keith comes in with his Harry Potter scarf all the time. It's like, it's really, man. I forgot about that. Cold, man. I used to get sick after that show, man. So it's like, hopefully it won't be like that as well. There he is. So.
There you go. Garden State ComicFest. This year is in a whole different location. It's easier to get to. You can actually go on mass transit and get there, which I'm probably going to do.
Let me.
And look at that. It's Len Donovich. Len, how you doing?
Len's going to be a little closer to me. He'll be like on the side where Keith is, about 2 booths down. So he'll be on our little center island.
They were talking about that last night because they had the guys on last night, and they were like, "You guys are all going to be in the same section, which is going to be fun because it's easier to find all of you guys if you guys are all together."
Well, it's one of those. It's like they say, all shows begin with Keith, and then we all kind of get added on, and then. And the thing is that my contract says I have to be next to him, so it's like I got no choice. I got to be next to the guy. And,
I thought it was just like an inker thing. They were like, let's put the inkers together.
Well, I'll tell you, man. It's like, I know we're talking Garden State Fest, but I'm going to throw in Heroes for a moment. Where I was located at Heroes, I felt like I was in Inker Central because it was myself. Across from me was Keith, Al Milgram, Joe Rubinstein. Further down was
Ooh.
Bob McLeod. So it was like all of us in the same section. I was like, and Mark Buckingham was obviously an inker as well. So it's like, yeah, I felt like I was an inker central. It's like most of us were in that area. It was just for and of course Scott Hanna was next to JR down the other side. So yeah, it was.
That's
it was
a lot of inkers in one place.
Yeah, it was a big spot. It was a big ink block in that area.
Oh man, I gotta say, I feel like, and I'm happy you guys are getting more credit now, because I feel like you guys never got good credit, especially when I was younger, because back then it was like you would hear about the artist and you wouldn't hear about anybody else.
Well, sometimes you see that also on even nowadays, and there's even sometimes you read when they're asking for jobs, some people will say, I just want an artist and I don't need an inker and stuff like that. And I mean, it's okay. I get it. It's like it adds a step for some people. They're like, well, like my artist can't finish it. So, well, some artists, the origin of the embellisher was because periodicals were coming out so rapidly. A single artist was taking too long. So
Right.
to make sure they could keep producing, they basically said we're going to add the embellisher, the inker, so the artist can keep drawing and he'll just finish it. That's why we were called the finishers.
Right.
And that's how it all really started. Then of course the ink artists are actually artists. They just happen to be really good at embellishing, creating the nice little look. And I can't tell you how many times I look at certain things or certain books, I go like, man, they did not choose the right inker, or they did not, or they just went straight from pencils onto the colors, and
Right.
by saving that step, it looks flat. It doesn't have that life. And
I gotcha.
but I mean, that's why you see me now doing a lot more on my own drawings and stuff, because it's always, for me, it's always been like when people come to my booths and stuff, they see my prints, they see so many styles, and it's hard for them to go like, that's him or who and what. And but basically now I'm trying to get a good style from the way I ink, and now I'm trying to develop my look for drawings, that it's hopefully now that it'll begin to be a little easier for people to say, he's just an artist, he just happens to enjoy the inking more. And that's what it comes down to. For me it's a lot faster to do the ink part than to draw and design and get everything up there. I mean, I had this guy gentleman come up to me as he wanted me to, he wants to start negotiating me to draw some of his comics, and I'm like, I prefer free the finisher because I just do more. I can get more done, because if I have to draw it, yeah, I'll draw it, but it'll just go take me a long time.
Look, Len's saying I need to do all the creative, right? My story and all the biz math.
Yeah,
with exposure.
I do too, man.
Bruce, I gotta ask you. The pieces of art that you do are very intricate. Have you ever considered? Are you an artist as well besides the wood?
Not really. I mean, I can draw.
You have to have some kind of moniker of art in order to do what you do.
Yes, but I mean, I certainly wouldn't be a successful artist. What I consider what I do is more of a craft, a handwork. I mean, let's be honest, the guys that draw the originals, they're the geniuses, all of them. I mean, from beginning to end. My stuff is more, it's an homage to the people that have done it before. I'm not a particularly religious person, but I'll say this. If you want to believe in heaven, think of all the anonymous artists, 30s and the 40s, that were just churning out comic books and pages and comics and everything else, having no idea that what they were doing back then was going to turn into the world that we live in today here.
That is so true.
And these guys are all anonymous. I mean, sometimes, yeah, they got their names, but for the most part, they're anonymous. But they created these images that were just, phenomenal. And I'm just, like I said, if you want to believe in spirituality, some, Joe Schmo or even some woman is up in heaven looking down saying, wow, somebody still remembers that I drew this in 1942 or 1951. And it's a comic that did not have Superman or Batman or et cetera, et cetera. There's tremendous art in the field. And I'm doing my little part, which probably is unnecessary now, just to make it known that it's such a unique American touchstone in our culture. And it's such an important part of our history, because if you read comics and look at how they've changed and how they've influenced society, I just like to tip my cap to everyone that came before, because I certainly can't contribute like they did.
I get you, but you what you do is amazing. So that's why I had to ask you.
Dan, thank you. It's more of a skill than anything else.
Right.
It's practice. I mean, it's mastery of the tool. You have to have a color sense to try to match as close as you can. Luckily for me, I go to these shows because the way I see it, I'm paying somebody a few $100, and for 2 days, people come up to me and compliment me. So, I mean, if you think about it that way, I don't need to make $4,000 or $2,000 to pay my table. If I pay my table, it's great. And if I don't, I've been complimented for 15 hours by complete strangers, and I've made a whole bunch of really cool friends like you, Raph, and all the other people that I've met. I got
to say, your table's always full of people.
Not always, but I mean, a lot more than I ever expected, because obviously, you're always competing for attention. We all are.
Yeah.
And the fact that people stop. The one thing that I'm hoping my new booth this time does, so many people will walk past my booth and they'll say, oh, you're just selling comic books. And I say to them that if the ones that I've done are actual comic books, I wouldn't need to do this show, because I've probably got $4 or $5 million worth of comic books on my table. Superman #1 and Amazing Fantasy #1. And, if I had those comics, I sure as hell wouldn't be standing here without an armed guard next to me. Mine are just, recreations of that art in a different medium that, I've never seen anyone else do what I do.
Len says that escorts are cheaper, $50, and they'll compliment you all you want.
I just celebrated my 36th wedding anniversary yesterday. I'm but
let's not get in trouble. There you go.
There you go.
I was going to say, attending a comic book convention is a lot cheaper and a lot safer, so it's good.
And you don't have to worry about needing penicillin afterwards.
Exactly.
In case you guys, folks, are wondering who's in the chat talking to us, you guys can see him as well at Garden State ComicFest this weekend. So you can go talk to him about all these things. Len Donovich, folks, amazing guy. Oh man, so this is going to be a blast. This weekend is going to be so much fun.
Okay, you remember that I talked to we were off camera and I was talking about projects that didn't get done?
Right.
Len and I had a project that didn't get done. and it's because oh, look at that triple. Yes, that's your friend Kike. The guy from Triple Threat. Yeah. That's the boss. Actually, that's my boss. Because he's my boss for Codename Hunter. He's probably going to harass.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot you guys partnered up.
No, but Len and I actually worked on a story I wrote for Stupid Kids, which was an anthology that was going to come out, and it never got produced.
I like the name.
Yeah, because it was called Stupid Kids, Adventures of Childhood, something like that. And it was basically stories that we were writing about things we did back in the days when it was real to be a kid, and not this, looking at the little, the tablet and stuff. When there was like, okay, the sun came up, we're out, and the sun came down, we're home. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Parents had no way of contacting you.
No, they just told you, make sure you're home before the lights go.
Right. if the lights on the street are on, you're late.
In trouble. I got in trouble a couple times.
No, because Len was doing a good job. I mean, we got it down because I wanted to create almost like an homage type story to the creepy and stuff like that. So we had a creature that was talking like the story, because it was not a horror story. It's just it's a horrible experience that I went through, in the sense of it was really simple. You know, my buddy had just gotten his license, and we are going to go over to this country club for a dance and stuff, and the whole thing was just setting it up for us to go to the activity in the car. And what happened was
You're right, Glenn. You're right.
Well, that is a horror show. So it's like, and when we were getting, so the idea is that when we approached the parking, we got distracted by some girls, and of course I'm not driving, so it doesn't matter. I could be as distracted as I want. But my buddy was looking over too, trying to look over. And you know those things that they have for you to stop when you reach it from the parking? Yeah. Boom, on
Damn.
the whole bottom of the car. Boom again. And of course nothing happened to the car, but it was like embarrassing. We didn't go in for about an hour, you know.
I wouldn't either.
And it was like, but Len had drawn it like it destroyed the car and stuff. It was really funny. So maybe one of these days we'll probably put that one, finish it, because we never actually finished it.
I like it. I want to see what happens with it, you know. But I think I'm partial to it, because it sounds like stuff that happened to me.
You better get to it, because by the time you get to it, all the people that'll understand it'll probably be dead.
It's like, they won't relate. They won't relate. You know, they won't relate. But the
compliments on his art.
For that project, I also did a 2-page story that I only wrote it. It was drawn by Joe Critelli, who has a very cool cartoony style, which was perfect for this 2-page story called "Summer Games Are Dangerous," and this is true story. That we thought it would be a great idea that we would ride our bikes down the middle of the street and have from both sides, we throw these broomsticks to see if they will get caught in the spokes. This was the level of crap we were doing when we were kids.
That sounds about right. I remember that one.
But I mean, thankfully, none of us got it, and we. Because I think it would have been a major. I mean, I remember doing BMX stuff and falling, and the handlebars bending, and I'm hitting the ground and stuff. And you get up and go,
dude, we got it. We were doing it. We got it. Person went, woo!
I mean, there's like 3 or 4 minutes of my life I don't remember. Because all I remember, the last thing I remember was seeing the ground, the pavement coming to my face, and then waking up in the kitchen and going like, "What just happened?"
But the cool thing was when you got home and you were all bloodied up in your knee or your elbow or whatever, your parents didn't overreact. They said, "You okay?" Yeah.
Need to go to the hospital? No. Okay.
Go clean up for dinner. Right. That was it. What happened? Nothing. We were playing. I fell. That was
just put dirt on it. It'll take care of it.
Yeah.
It's funny. Bruce is completely right. I came home. No, it was even worse. I was with my father in the park, and there was a hill called Murder Hill, and we all know where this is going already. I came down Murder Hill full blast. I put on the brakes. I was going so fast the brakes didn't do shit. I hit the bottom of the thing, huge dust ball. My brother was about to go run and go see if I was okay. My father stopped me and goes, "Wait, let's see what happens." And then I came out of the dust with my bike coming up the hill to where they were, and my father was like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, wait. No, the punchline, Raph. The punchline is, and we're not going to tell your mother.
Oh, of course. Yeah, they didn't tell mom.
No, it's just so that's actually you can actually read the one from the summer one is actually on my website. I posted it in the portfolio as unpublished work, and that it's totally colored, lettered by Carlos Mangual of DC Comics. And it was just 2 quick pages, and it was just Jim really captured the essence of that childhood stuff. And for 2 pages, it was a challenge for me because I usually like to write long stories and long projects. To do it in 2 pages was something I really found that, hey, can I pull this off for just 2 pages to give off the story and that? And it was possible. It was nice. It was nicely done. And it's just one of those shames that it hasn't been seen by more people, because I think it would have been a really nice project. I mean, the chances are I've talked to the creator of the project, and you never know, it could happen, and we'll pull it in. That means that Lenny and I will have to rush and get the other thing. But it's like, so I mean, you never know. You never know. And
I'm like, Jesus, we just drank and harassed girls. Oh my God. Folks, you gotta go say hi to Len. Len's a card.
Yeah, and he's right here. If you see this little spot right there, that's where he's gonna be, right there. Another one right there.
Yeah, I like the fact that you have the map there, so you can see where all the guys are gonna be.
Yeah, it's like right up here is myself and Keith. Then right here is gonna be Chris Ivy. I think Ivy's here, either here or here. I know Howard Mackey is on this side as well. I think he's here. I think Howard's down here. Ava Schwarzenegger is going to be here. Lenny's going to be here. So it's a nice group of people who are on there. So you can ignore everybody else and just come straight to the center and forget everything else. We'll appreciate it. I don't know how this is set up yet. I mean, I'm trying to ask the show, is these end caps going to be the traditional end cap facing like this center, or are they going to be like New York, where we're all down the line? I don't know yet.
Because it's so funny, because you look at the map, and then when you look at the location, it's a different location now. So I can't say that. Yeah, okay.
You'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's like I usually like to know so I can have an idea.
So what you guys got to do is, when you're there, you're going to be all like, all right, guys, we're here. This is what's going on.
I mean, it's just one of those things. After so many years of doing it in the other one, I already knew where I was going to park. I already knew where the bad places for my cart is, so I can avoid them, and knew this and that. So now it's totally new, which is okay. But it's like one of those things like, maybe I should go a little earlier to get the lay of the land. And but from the pictures I've seen today, it looks.
Have you ever been to the facility at all?
This one, no, I've never been.
Let me tell you about it.
Ooh.
First off, I've been in there for hockey to watch it, and right next to it shares the parking garage is the Turtleback Zoo. So the place is professional in the sense that they know exactly what they're doing. I don't anticipate any problems loading in and loading out, because if they use the door that I think they're going to let us use, you're just going to go right up to the door, dump your stuff, and then go park your car. There's usually a very strong police presence, not because it's crime. It's got nothing to do with that. It's because so many people use the facility. Now, in the past, obviously, it was for hockey and skating because it's 2 rinks. But like I said, the zoo is right next door. You can walk from one to the other. So if anyone's coming to the show and they've got little kids and they're bored, they can just hop out of the show and go right across and go check out the zoo, which is terrific. We go every Christmas with my grandkids, and they have all kinds of, lit up and ice sculptures and everything. It's a great facility. What actually happens inside, with the show, what Dave and his crew end up doing, I'm sure there's going to be kinks that they're going to have to get out. But I think this location is an absolute home run. I think everybody's going to be really pleased. And it's really a good place. And if they let you go up and sit in the seating, it'll give you lots of places to lounge where you could socialize. I don't know if that'll be open, all the seats that you would go sit in if you were watching a hockey game. But if they are, it'll be fantastic, because people will tend to stay, because they won't just have to stand. They can go up there and sit in those seats. I think it'll be great. And it's a great facility and plenty of parking and all kinds of good stuff. I can't say enough about the facility.
Well, Dave has been posting a lot that he's really enjoying the setup day.
Yeah, dude, I've been watching his thing, and I'm like, he's been like really having a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the fact that we're not dividing up the artists anymore. I find that sometimes people didn't realize it was a second. I'll tell you this: when I started this originally as just as fan, I didn't know there was a second ring. I only went to the first one.
I gotta say, there was a lot of people when we would go that we would have to tell them to go to the other one.
Yeah, and then the thing was that when it was too hot over there, they would come to our side. And it was too cold, they would to the other side. So to have us all in the same spot, I think it's going to be really much more positive. In that,
I agree.
If you want to do vending, buying stuff, you could go to that room. But if you want artwork and comics and stuff from the artist, you can come to this room. And I think that's going to be crucial. And I'm looking here; it's like I'm up top here of the map with Keith, and then next to me to the side of me is Louis Southard. He's a great writer and illustrator. He did the Flash Gordon. Blake Zawadzki with his new book is going to be there. Lenny, after him, Ava's then, Howard's at the corner, and Chris Ivy. So that's a nice little. You got some Marvel people here. It's like, well, yeah, it's good. And then Tom Mandrake is on the other side with Jan Dursuma and Jim California, Tom Rainey around the same area. Mark Morales up here, Fred Fosco. So that area alone is pretty good. I mean, like, and then I still want to see if I hope he shows up. Paris Cullins. I haven't seen him in a long time. So we'll see him.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because you guys have been doing a lot longer than me. My opinion that if the person comes in and buys a ticket, they're going to walk the entire show, and they're probably going to do it twice. I don't think. I mean, look, I'm not you guys. I'm not a creator. But I've never felt like I had bad traffic. People may walk past and keep going. But I mean, if you spent your $30 to get in, you're going to stay as long as you want, and you're going to walk every inch of that show. I'm sure it's correct. But I find it hard to believe that somebody would spend money and not know that there was a whole nother room to go to. You know, that's just bizarre, because if I'm spending money, I want to see everything there is.
Bruce, I can tell you exactly why. What happens is you come in, you see a section, and you go, ooh, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, you think, okay, that's it, without even like walking the rest of the place, because you feel that they must have put everything in here.
Not only that,
I can't tell you why they do that, but I can tell you they do that.
But it's also like the fact that depends on what a person. Look, some people may do it like, what's a great analogy? Let's say like going to Disney. You may go to Disney and you want to spend the whole day in Disney World, in the Walt Disney World, that area. To get everything, you have to like really explore, and you're not going to find everything that one day. Yeah. Or you can just say, look, I'm with the little kids. We're just going to hang around in Fantasyland. So it all depends, because sometimes people are there for just, okay, I'm just going to get commissions from this guy, this gal. And once I get them, I'm done. Or I'm going to go
find guys too. Yeah.
I'm going to find these books. I find them, go to CGC, I'm out.
Yep.
So, because I got other things to do today.
Well, then they're not going to buy anything for me anyway.
Exactly. I think that's why Len is saying is important. No, it's really important how artists are placed so that you are spread around with other talent. You don't want anyone to feel like they're in a corner that nobody ever walks through, which is very true. The flow of the place is important.
Yeah, I'm in a corner.
No, but I'm not baby in a corner.
I'm in a corner, but I'm not famous, so I don't expect to be, I don't expect to have good seats. I'm just happy to be there. For me, it's just meeting people and everything else. Selling is great. Don't get me wrong, but I don't need to be with the A-list celebrities. I'm just in the room. I'm thrilled.
Well, I'm going to go to compare it now, this show, and compare it to like Heroes and Let's Even New York. Like the good thing about these three shows actually is that they mix us all up.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm next to Keith is a big deal.
Yeah.
And at Heroes, like I was telling you guys earlier, like the section I was in this year, it was like when I saw the map and when I saw where Daryl and Uka were, because we're usually the three amigos where we're located for the last 3 years. I thought I was somewhere else because when I saw where they were, I got to be somewhere. So I went looking all over the map and couldn't find myself. I was actually next to them because it never dawned on me. But the thing is that when I'm next to a guy like Mark Buckingham, across from Jim Starlin, it's going to create traffic. And after that, it's just up to me. Hey, if I just sit there doodling or doing nothing, and I don't know, then I'm sorry, man. If people are coming by, you got to address them.
Oh,
and that's all I ask. Anytime I do a show, any show, all I ask is to put people in front of me. I'll deal with the rest. For me, the promoter's obligation is to get the people through the door. Now, once they're in there, I gotta trying to get them to my place, and usually I'll do it. I don't think Garden State has it, but for Heroes, they have a Facebook group for fans that somebody created.
Yep.
And
Garden State has one too.
Huh?
Garden State has a fan one too.
Really? I never posted it. And well, I gotta find it now. And then the thing is that I got so much traffic when people say, "Oh, I saw you posting on the group." So you have to do it. There are too many artists I've run into go like, "Man, this promoter is not doing enough to bring people in." I'm like, "Well, bro, I looked at your feed. You didn't even announce you were already here. So if you're not even doing your own work, I'm sorry. Don't complain to me." And different shows. So like, I know for some people, some shows are really, really good, and for me, we're like, and vice versa. So it's really not a way to say, "Oh, this show sucks, that one's good." Everybody has a different talent. Everybody has a different group of people that will follow them. So I just try to find the shows that respect us as artists, tries to put us in the best position possible to do well, and that's where I go with. And
Enrique, I made it easier for you to find it because I placed I just actually posted onto it and tagged you on it. So
okay. I'll see you later. I'll find it. Yeah, because it's like right now it's like 2 days before the show. Probably nobody's going to see it thanks to the algorithms, but somebody might catch me in there or see somebody. But the thing is that
I spoke to Ava tonight. She's busy. She says hi to everybody. She's excited.
Yeah, Ava's been like really busy. She's like, "Oh, Ralph, I'll see you at the show." I'm like, "Okay, no problem."
Pretty much. Boy, talk about somebody that knows how to corral people walking by. There is nobody better.
I mean, she did. This was her first year doing Heroes, and I went over to her and I said, "How's it going?" I'm fine. "Oh, this is terrible." Trust me, you'll see Saturday different. And you have to learn the way the game is played there for her and for me. I told her, we're not important today. Today, Fridays and Heroes is purely everybody is in there with a cart or a row one of these like wagons and stuff filled with comics for the everybody who's ever worked for Marvel and DC to sign CGC and get all that stuff. Friday is that. I said Saturdays. That's when they go out to find stuff, and on Sunday they spend what they didn't spend. And Ava told me, and I asked her on Sunday, "How'd it go?" "Yeah, Saturday I started getting commissions." Right, because that's the different crowd for Saturday. So it's like it's got to weather the storm. Now here it's going to be, like I said, I'm really hoping that the way this is set up, that it'll be an easy flow because I don't know where I see the entry is this way. I guess.
I'll put it back up.
Only thing is that the restrooms are really far. Now,
there's a flow here because you can go through each aisle. There's no stoppage. So you know how sometimes they have this weird flow and it kind of stops it.
This is
right now. I can see that you guys can go through the whole place.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that the floor itself is a little bigger than we were previously. I think it's just bigger. And, the main thing I always hated was that the aisles were so tight, you know, and that was never any good because if you have people at your table, some people just won't stop because there's no room to, I'm hoping this is a little bit more airy, but, find out tomorrow. There's nothing we can do about it now.
Yeah, because sometimes some shows will like pack it in so much and then there's like really no room.
Way too much. Yeah, there's no room at all.
Yeah.
I gotta
Especially,
say, one of the things I've enjoyed with New York Comic Con now, and I know they'll probably change it eventually, is the fact that you have so much more room than you used to.
well, eventually they're going to put it in Yankee Stadium. Just can't get any bigger.
We'll see. I mean, I walked around Heroes on Sunday and a little bit on Friday. When I love going there on Thursday to set up early to see where everybody's located and stuff. But once everything is up, it's incredible that anybody even reached me, because there's the temptations of everything along the way.
Oh, definitely.
And in the fact that it's so much diverse artwork, and the amount of talent that is out there that's undiscovered, if you want to say, is incredible. And it's like that show really brings it. And I think that Garden State really does do
they do a great job, yeah. Len saying too here, he goes, it's good when you stagger famous names with local artists and or indie artists and spread them out and not put them all in one corner or zone. Mix it up so it makes people walk around looking for them. I completely agree.
Totally true. Totally.
Yeah, it's not like Baltimore. That big show in Connecticut. The thing is that I've learned to live with that already, and it's like speaking with promoters. I try to be as honest with them as I can without going to many sensitivities, and some people are already like that. But the reality is that I will tell them there are shows I won't do, and nothing against them. It's just that no, you got way too many media people, or you got things split up. I've not gone back to Baltimore since I did it in 21, and I always relate the story that I was so angry with what happened, and I'm not going to go into the details. I've already spoken about it, but the fact is that I wrote them a nice email, professional email, not one of those emails, you guys suck. No, no, I did not. I went like, look, these were my observations of what happened to me, and this is what I didn't like, and blah, blah, blah. And I went down, each paragraph had one thing. To their credit, they answered every single thing.
Wow, I love that. Yeah.
And not like you're a dick. No. They said, we get it. No, we don't agree with you. Because I would say there was 100 feet. No, it's more like 40. Of course, I'm exaggerating. Okay. So they went down. No, you're right. Yes, you're wrong. We could do. And they were like, look, we understand your frustration. We would appreciate it if you would give us another chance. And if you want, just come to the show. Just come and walk around and look at it. And then maybe you can decide to do the show again. And I mean, that attitude is, I appreciate it. And actually, one of my ideas, they actually implemented it in another year.
That's good too.
But it's still, I'm still hear things, and it's like, it's not going to be great, And it's like there's so many shows now. It's not like you have to like be tied to one in particular. Right. And to be honest, man, it's like.
I tell people all the time, find what works for you and go there. Yeah.
Garden State took over for what I considered what East Coast was doing, because East Coast considered it like was a gem. And then, of course, they decided not to keep going. And then these guys, Garden State, took it over. They took over that vacuum that became there. Yeah, there are some other shows out there. I mean, Mary does her stuff, and Kenneth does his stuff. You got the guys from Super Jersey getting involved in this stuff. But right now,
so many new shows, yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of new shows and stuff. But I think Garden State has really carved a good niche here, that it's going to be a mountain to climb for other people. And it's not perfect, obviously. No show really is. But I think for what we get is a good deal. So
I always look at it from my point of view as it's just like going to a restaurant or any other, retailer, is that you want to feel like your money is appreciated by the person you're giving it to, and they're giving you their best effort. And I think Dave all the shows I've done, has given it his best effort. And he wants me to succeed, and each one of us as much as we do. And that's really all you can ask. I mean, you could have a show with 15,000 people and still sell $43. Or you go with 1,500 and sell 3,000. We all know that. You never know who's going to drop money on your table or why. But if you feel that the people that you're giving your money to care as much as you do, that's all you can ask. And I think they do, which is great. So I've been to others, and they're just making money. It's like, it's the difference between going to a dollar store and going to, Bloomingdale's. It was obvious. So you don't go back. That's all you can do.
Yeah. You find what show works for you, and you keep doing it.
Right. And I don't know about the other gentlemen, but I mean, for me, it's definitely a social aspect. I've met a whole bunch of people in the few years I've been doing it.
Oh my God, Garden State. I've met so many great friends at Garden State.
Exactly. And that was my concern, because I'm nobody. You guys are famous. I'm nobody. But the fact that I can talk and have conversations and meet people and listen to them, I mean, to me, it's sort of like playing catch with Mickey Mantle when you talk to some of these guys that happen to be. I got really close with Bud at the last show. Bud's famous. I'm nobody. What a great guy. It's like playing catch with Mickey Mantle.
I totally agree with that. These smaller shows are always makes it easier to approach a lot of our legendary heroes of art for me. It's like, for me, and I believe I met you, Ralph, at here at Garden State. I think it was the first time.
I think that was the first time we met. Yeah.
So, a lot of people I've met here, Tom Mandrake, a lot of guys like Gus Marker met him over here, Chris Ivy and stuff at Garden State, and that later translate on down the line, like Walt Simonson. I walk around and he will recognize me, and stuff like that. So it's a nice experience, and I think this show really helps with that, and it also. Like I said, my hopes is that this new venue is going to be like a really kick-ass thing, and
it looks good, because I've been showing off the little things that David's been putting up, and it looks huge, man.
I don't think anybody will be disappointed with the venue itself. I really don't, because I've been there, and like I said, it's a professional place. The comic show being in there, it's not going to phase that facility at all. So I mean, the place is going to be great. I think Dave hit a home run getting us in there. Let's see what happens. But I think the facilities, and it's also for the people like me who live in New Jersey, it's great because it's really centrally located. And like, Ralph said, you can get there public transportation, easy off the Garden State Parkway, easy off the Turnpike. So for people all over, you don't have to go up to the northern part. You don't have to go down to the beach and fight the shore traffic. It's in the middle, man. And I think it's going to – I'd be shocked if they don't set attendance records for themselves because of the venue. I really would. Also, I mean, obvious, you see who's coming. There are a lot of famous people going to be there. People are going to come if they know, just to see those specific people. A lot of people. And a porn star. I mean, what else can you ask for?
What?
You heard him.
You don't know about the porn star?
And look, they got panels too.
Yeah. And Dave's doing one. He says he hopes nobody comes.
So let's make sure people come. Which one is it?
It's the last one on the last day. Because
that's right. He's doing that special one where you can come talk to him and go, what do you think about the show?
Right, you suck. Right, exactly. No one comes, and he promises he'll probably never do it again. But of course, if you got a table, I'm not wasting my time going to complain to Dave. I'm going to sit at my table, because that'll be the time when 7 people walk over.
Len's like, will it be cold? That's a question we have.
There's no doubt you're on ice, and they got to keep the rinks cold. So, yeah, I mean, I'd be shocked if I'm not wearing a hoodie the entire time I'm inside. I'd be shocked.
Well, I think with Menon last year, it was not a great experience. I mean, I was over on the second rink, and it's actually pretty nice, but they were having major issues in the main rink, and
Oh,
it
it
was
was hot.
super
Yeah.
hot. It was
Yep.
just a bad experience, and I think with Cody, I think they're going to alleviate a lot of that problems because Menon's really starting to show its age. It really is. It's a facility that really needs to be redone, and they won't do it. Until,
Right.
It's unfortunate because I live in the area. I've been there at all my kids' high school graduations, and it means a lot to me. But if you're not going to keep it up or at least try and improve it, people are just going to say, forget it. I'm not going to do anything here anymore.
I also feel like you guys have been saying everybody's going to be in one room. That's going to change the whole feel of it.
Yeah,
Before you were in two separate rooms, I feel like now, you know, it feels more family.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
and
still I'm sorry, there's still going to be two separate rinks, though.
yeah,
There are rinks. They're going to be two different rinks. But
yeah.
Are they
They have
separating
all
it?
the artists in one and all the vendors in the other one, which is an interesting dynamic. You know,
right.
Interesting.
But you know, I think that's because it's physically larger. I think people, you know, like you were saying before, you can't walk the Smithsonian or Disney in one day. I think you know, because it's larger. I don't know this, but I'm getting the sense that there's more people with tables than ever before. So I think there's going to be more to see for everybody. You know, that's what I'm assuming right now. But you know, we'll ask Dave, and then he'll lie to us, and we'll figure it out.
I gotta say, folks,
I'm noticing now that Walt Simonson is actually going to be with Louise Simonson in the other room. I think they're the only ones over there.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. They're right next because they're across from the Greg Hildebrand store.
Oh, okay.
So they're always next to each other,
right?
Traditionally. So, yeah, but I'm looking here and seeing most of this stuff is collectible stuff, collectible comics, pulp culture. Yeah, it's like Walt is the only artist over there except for Hildebrand. So that's interesting. They have another artist down here, Enigma, also. So I don't know. And of course, the few celebrities that they're going to be, I think, on our side. Yeah, the celebrities.
They're all on our side. Yeah, they're on that one whole side of the rink. The celebrities. You know, and I think they did a pretty good job.
In the corner. Okay. And Bailey's in the corner. It's Canana. Oh, they got him across the wall. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of people over here. Oh, by the way, guys, Keith will be doing a panel. You know, inkers. We do more than trace. Damn it.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna want to go check that out.
Yeah, but you know, for us, we can't go.
I gotta say, like, he's really trying to change things up. You know, adding panels or making panels bigger and better is always a good way to go. I'm not a big panel person. I don't tend to go to the panels. Every once in a while, I'll make one. But I gotta say, when I do make them, they're very interesting. I just have to spend so much time interviewing people that I have to miss them.
That's your job, man. Your calling in life is great. Yeah.
Yeah, folks. Look at all these people.
Yeah, Kevin. I'd love to see him. I'm looking forward to seeing him. And what's the other one's name? Steve Whitmore, the voice actor.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done a lot of great stuff. That guy. I mean, you know. Did you guys see today that Stan Lee's brother is going to be there? 93 years old.
Oh wow.
Larry Lieber's going to be there on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, Larry Lieber, I guess is his name.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, 93 years old. I mean, hell, my dad's 93. He can't get out of his chair. God bless him.
Look
yeah,
at this,
there you go. That's the there we go. Right, Ref?
No, what show? Well, yeah, it's like, yeah, but what's that? Oh, yeah.
Folks, free parking, folks. Free parking.
Yep.
That's important.
I mean,
they usually charge you.
So we'll see.
The front of this looks fantastic.
It's a cool place. You won't be disappointed, I promise.
I remember I did a many years ago a panel with Keith, and it was funny because they were asking questions like, "What does it take to break into the industry?" And I'm like, "What am I doing here?" I was like, "That's funny." And then, of course, Keith, being Keith in his nice manner, he was like, "Yeah, I remember when I was with Romita, the Raiders," and he started name dropping. And I'm like, "Bro, really? Really? We're gonna do this?" No, but it's like it's just he's a great guy. I love him to death, and it was such a kick to have him at Heroes for the first time this year as well. And it's a big turnaround for us. We're going through Heroes now. We're back here together again. It's like bam, one back to this. This is a really good 2 weeks for me. So we'll see.
It's free parking in Adult Stars, Comics, and us. What's not to like? and remember to wear deodorant, folks, because it's going to be hot.
It's not what this week was.
Thought we just had a whole discussion. It was in an ice rink.
It's not going to be that cool.
There goes Larry Lieber.
There he is.
See, at least he's limited. He's going to be there from 1 to 3 because I can't imagine this guy being there for the whole week.
No, not at night.
At Super Jersey, he was there also for like a very limited amount of time, and maybe like 3 hours and maybe an hour for signing. That's it. He's not around that much, so they really can't have him out there that long.
No,
and besides, after all the blowback we've been hearing about Stan's final stuff and the days and the weeks, that people are saying that they don't want to fall into that trap with his brother. So I guess they're trying just a little bit here, a little bit there, so.
And folks, look, the Batmobile will be there. I love that car.
I couldn't get it on last night's show. This is really the only Batmobile in my mind. Everything else just
right.
I mean, when you got atomic batteries to power, just like I'm sorry.
I love that atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think though that if I remember reading correctly, there were like 3 or 4 Batmobiles in 1966. There were. So I don't know which one this is, but it'd still be cool to see it. And you'll see that everyone there probably is going to be our age, getting ready for Social Security. Because, most people younger don't know what that was. That show.
I don't know. I feel like it's never died, so people will keep seeing it.
I'm not sure there's anybody alive that was actually in the show anymore. I mean, they're all,
Well,
dying.
Burt Ward is still around.
Burt Ward, yeah.
Yeah.
I read the other day that Raquel Welch had an affair with Batman at one point. And
who didn't have an affair with Adam West, from what I'm hearing?
If you read his book, pretty much everybody. What a guy.
From what I keep hearing, he bonked everybody.
Yeah. So now you're just making me jealous.
I'm just showing off your stuff here.
I see. Thanks.
I gotta say, and the stuff that you were showing me, dude.
Well, it'll all be set up tomorrow.
I can't wait to see it in person.
All right. Well, you're welcome. Just go to the corner. That's where I'll be. Look for someone famous and then turn around. That's where I'll
Oh man, I gotta use that line from now on. Look for somebody famous and turn around.
That's what you do. That's what you do. Hey, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys. I've never met you gentlemen before, so that'll be cool too.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the rounds tomorrow. I'm gonna try and
guys, you guys really gotta see what Bruce does, man.
Yeah.
Dude, whew.
It'd be awesome.
Thank you. I can't wait to hear it. One thing I did, though, I'll tell you guys real quick, is that I've begun to get some of my pieces signed by the inkers and stuff who actually, and those pieces are not for sale. I got Banks, I got Bob. I can't pronounce how you pronounce his last name. Wycheck?
Wycheck.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I got Wycheck, and I got Mr. Grumpy himself, the one who did Spider-Man. He's an elderly gentleman. Bob something with an S, Stratton.
Staten.
Yeah, didn't he do Spider-Man?
Joe Staten.
What the heck's his name? He just seems very unpleasant.
No, it's not Joe Staten. Joe Staten is a
Oh
dog.
no. What's his name? He did the Spider-Man, the one that I did, with the years on it. It's a pretty famous book. You'll forgive my ignorance, but I went to show it to him and I said, well, this is what I made. Would you mind signing it? And I don't think he even looked up, everybody else, or it was encouraging. He didn't even look up. And I've seen him. We just happened to be across the way at the last show. And I was watching him interact with people and geez, good thing he's talented.
I mean, Oko's going to be here. Yeah, it's funny that I'm looking at the list of people that's going to be here. The turnaround for some of us is like, yeah, we just did this other one in North Carolina. Now we're coming back up here. Yeah, because I was talking to, I'm going to name drop now. We're going to start name dropping. We're talking with Jim Starr. I said, you're going to be at Garden State, aren't you? Yeah, man, I'm going to be there. It's a good show. And so it's a quick turnaround for him. And then I talking to Claremont. He says, no, I'm taking a break. I'm doing a break. And then I got to do some work. And then I'll be in terrific comics. We'll bump into each other there. So yeah, I'm surprised. I did not know she was going to be here. Colleen Doran is going to be here, and I gotta say, what a great lady she is. Everybody who's there. I mean, I have a beautiful piece she did for me last year at Heroes. That is a treasure. I actually have it. I'm looking at it right now. That is one of those pieces that you look at. Oh, look at that! One of my pieces is there, and it's just a fascinating piece that. Every time I look at it, I see something new in it, and stuff. So many people like that piece of mine there, that one there, that Predator came up, and yeah, a lot of people came by.
Well done.
It's one of those things that sometimes you just never know, man. I busted my butt and my hand getting ready for Heroes, and all the new stuff I did, none of it sold except one thing. The Hulk I did, one of the Hulks, and it's just one. But they loved all the other stuff I had done before. And I'm like, really? It's like, even stuff from 2019, I'm like, really? And maybe it's because I did really nice pricing. And it's also like,
because when people find the deal, they love it.
Yeah, there was one guy who wanted a Spider-Man piece, and he wanted another piece, and said, "Can you do a deal?" And I go like, and the other piece was like 2019. Oh my god, yeah, I'll drop $20 off so you can take them both. Go, yay! So they were really happy with that. So, I mean, the 2019 one was like, my God, it was on a paper I don't even use anymore. I was looking at it, I didn't even know it was in the book. Well, because there's stuff in there that are still done with quill that I don't use that much now. And what was it? In a show recently, somebody picked up a werewolf I had done inks over Paul Abrams. And it was one of those pieces that I did because Paul was one of the first people to embrace me when I came into the industry, when I returned into the industry. And he gave me a lot of stuff to work on, but he started to complain to me saying, look, I know you're starting up again, but you don't seem to understand how to ink some of my stuff. So I was like, okay. So instead of being offended, I went like, okay, so what can I do? He says, here, look at what this guy does. And it was Kevin Conrad.
Yeah.
It was actually a very good friend now. And he showed me some of his pieces. And I was like, and I used that. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I get it now. I think you do this. Okay. So when I did, the first piece I did after absorbing Kevin was that werewolf. And when I sent it to Paul, he was like, where did this come from? He says, well, you told me to learn. And he was like, blown away. He was blown away with it. That was 2018 that I did that with quill. So all the details were like, you could feel it on the paper. it's raised because of all the quill work, and it was really a lot of detail with the hair and stuff. It wasn't until the other day it finally sold, and it was like this young lady with her husband. She was looking at it, and she was like, "Wow, this is really nice." I go, "Yeah, I did that a while ago. Feel the quill and stuff." Says, "I really need this." I said, "Well, it's for sale." Well, that's what I'm telling you. I really need this. Pull it out. I'm taking it. And I was like, "Ooh," and it's just, you know, sometimes never know what's going to move. And and I decided that let me see. I started doing something that my neighbor from Heroes recommended. Two things. One is this that I did here. That you can see that.
Yeah, I'll put it up.
I'm only putting the character on this side on one little bit. You can see the whole page there. Yeah. Because he was saying, look, do that, charge this amount, and then the person can say, oh, it's a good deal for an artwork. And they can say, hey, but I can give this now to Keith, and he can put another one up here. I can give it to Mark Bagley, he could put one in there. And then all can multiply it. But I already got them to buy the first one, and it's gone. And I thought, okay, I'll try that. And then the thing is that I had done a coaster for, where are they? They're somewhere around here, they're over there, for the drink and draw of the same character, the Spawn. Right. And so I basically used the same size to do this one again. And the guy who bought my coaster came over to my table to thank me. He said, hey, man, it's really cool. I really like it. But he looked at this one, and he also looked at another Spawn that was done, pencils were done by Christian Espiritu Santo.
Right.
And then I took that and recreated it for the coaster. And then for this, he says, dude, you're really consistent. And I'm like, that's the best thing I've heard in a while. That's what we look for.
That's what you want to hear,
I'm saying I'm getting consistent, especially with my colors. It's something that I'm actually starting to embrace that I was not doing before, because I was just doing the inking. But now that I'm drawing my own stuff, the color has really taken on a new level. That I've prepared like a little color chart for me so I can compare stuff. And I've also been very lucky to be sitting next to Bob Sharon at a bunch of shows. So I just sit there and watch him draw, and that's my training. You know, okay, what's he doing now? All right. And I was like, Bob, why you do that? Oh, we want to do this. You want to highlight this, do that. Oh, okay. So it helps, man. I've been able to learn a whole bunch. So I'm going to have that available. And then as well, I'm starting to do little sketch cards that I bought, like trade cards, little size.
Right.
And let me see if I can reach one.
Well, my son has just found his passion. He's always had a talent for drawing, and he went a long time without doing it. Now he's in college, and he's now found the passion, and he's up in his room literally for hours looking at books of human skulls and faces and just practicing. And it's like he's got a drive that I never did. I mean, I always had a talent for drawing, but he's really applying it, and his stuff is just, it blows my mind. I am so impressed with what he's doing. It's just amazing. It's just, it's cool to see that happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, you know, you'd mentioned that, Enrique, and it's exactly applies to him, which is really cool.
No, it applies to my daughter. She joined now. She's part of the studio now, and she just graduated from FIT, cum laude, magna cum laude. So she was actually really good, and she's 1,000 times better than I am. And I keep pushing her, saying, "Look, you could be the next Alex Ross if you really wanted to, because her skill with oil is unmatched." I mean, I showed Bo Hampton at Heroes her drawing of oils of this helmet, medieval conquistador helmet, in which they had a frog coming out and a little cookie being eaten by the frog. And I showed it to him, and his first reaction was, "Wow, that's a really cool mask. Did they make that?" I'm like, "Bro, that's a painting. Are you kidding me?" I said,
"That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear."
People thought it was metal. People thought it was real. And I was like, "No, that's this." And they're like blown away. And so she's so much better than I am. And it's like, my wife takes pieces of her work to the work where she works, and people are like a gallery now. It's like, wow, you know, stuff. So yeah, she's 100 times better, and I'm pushing her there. So what I'm doing are these little things now, these little
Hold on, I'll
cards.
put you up.
Yeah, so now you can. These are going to be available for very economical pricing, because they're not very detailed. They're just nice little things, so they're like almost like warm-ups.
They're nice. Yeah.
And this is the Hulk there again. And these are basically parts of the stuff you already seen. This one I've already done that one as a sketch cover. This was a sketch cover I had already did. So I'm recreating them in a little small size, and these are going to be available. I'm going to probably get a few more tomorrow. So done. So it'll be very easy. These are nice because what I see is that if somebody wants their child to learn about art and appreciate art collecting, these will be very easy to just pick up. Maybe, I don't know, $5. I might imagine I might put them there, and they'll be like a kid will go, hey, it's cool, that's why I did Superman. So I'll probably do a Spidey one.
Yeah, good idea.
Oh yeah, because it's like, and the thing is that once I have created the format, I just can recreate it a few times. And okay, yeah, that's the original one, the big one.
Oh,
This is what really is. So I'm gonna have limit. This is really spawned my interest in coloring. Ooh.
Ouch. Raph, I think we're bad, man. That was God.
I think we're done now.
I gotta say, Len is asking a question here. What are you guys most excited or interested in at the show? Good question.
In this show in particular, or any show?
I'm guessing he's talking about Garden State ComicFest.
Oh, I get to hang with Lenny, which I haven't seen for a while.
Len's like the jokes.
The joke. Yeah, it's like, well, I'll start throwing stuff because I'm pretty close, so I'll be able to throw stuff from my table to his. That's gonna be a lot of fun. But honestly, I'm gonna see people here I didn't see other places. They tend to stay in this local, like Tom Mandrake I only see him at this place. I only get to interact with him here. So yeah. It's one of those.
You're right. There's only certain people I only see at Garden State ComicFest.
Yeah, and it's like, so that'll be cool. I know Mariano Benitez. He's a good friend. He's from the Cuba School, and he'll be here as well. He's a good friend. I hate him because he's so famous already, and he does a lot of good work. I mean, he just recently did the Wacky Races, and he is just taking off. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to meeting new people and new fans, enjoying the venue, and let's see what happens.
It can't be all that bad because that's where I met Raphael as well. So
I've acquired a couple of people from Garden State ComicFest. Bruce as well.
Yeah.
Bruce and Paul.
Also, this is the only show for the rest of the year I'll be able to bump into Howard Mackey.
That's true.
Howard was supposed to be at Heroes and he couldn't do it, and this is his only show for the year. He's not doing Terrificon this year, so yeah. So, and I'm glad he's going to be next to me, basically in the same area, so I don't have to walk far for that. So,
how about you, Bruce and Paul? What do you got?
Get Paul.
In terms of what we're doing, or
well,
what?
Len asked the question. What are you guys most excited or interested in?
Oh, about the show? Yeah. Are you kidding me? I'm a comic book geek. I grew up with books in the old days, like the 70s and 80s, and I start seeing these artists that I grew up with that I immortalize in my mind, and I see them in person, and I can't help it, man. I'm just a total
geeked out.
I'm a total junkie when it comes to this sort of thing. I just love meeting these guys. I mean, I met Tom Mandrake a lot of times at both shows, both Garden State as well as the Sussex County one. Scott Hanna, I enjoy his company. He's great. He's just really nice to talk to. But what gets me upset though is seeing these artists age out. I mean, Bob Wycheck. I mean, I felt so bad. He has such a talent, but he can barely see now, and it just breaks my heart. And that's why I feel attending a show like this, not only I get to see the people I knew growing up with, but I get to see them before, time passes, which is really phenomenal for me. So just an opportunity to meet all these great artists is just my passion for these types of shows, which I love. So, I mean, Jim Starlin, forget it. I mean, I grew up with, Thanos, and I grew up with Dreadstar, and I grew up with, Syzygy, and it's just like, it's amazing to meet these talents and what they've done, and, just say, wow, this is really cool,
For me,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, for me, I'm real excited about the venue having I think it's a home run, like I said before. And for me, it's I love just meeting the people, like you just said, that are famous. And I go, wow. So I always equate it's like playing catch with Mickey Mantle, just to sit and chat and, just schmooze and stuff and pick their brains. And because I am not in the field like you guys are, when someone gives me some advice or some hints or some compliments or some criticisms, man, that's like going to college for free. I think it's the greatest thing. And, I'm not going to lie. I love it when the people come by my table and just stroke my ego. There's, like I said, I don't mind paying the money. 2 days I get cool. Well, I'm famous. I think that's really cool. And like you said, I have a lot of new friends, and it's great seeing people twice a year. If that's the only time you get a chance to communicate with them, because I'm all over, and that's great. And the one thing I will say is that when you do something like this, it reminds us how awful COVID was, because during COVID, this was obviously impossible. And the fact that this is back to being normal, you go, wow, man, we need people. People are good. This is cool. Hugging and shaking hands and talking face to face. Man, it just shows you what we all got through. It's really cool.
And I agree with the when you talk to these different artists and hear their experiences, and it's like, I remember when I met, this was at I think it was a WinterCon, before I even got him back in. My daughter was the one who was starting to do some sketching, and I was taking her to different shows to meet people. And Paris Collins, first thing he asked her was, "Where's your book?" He says, "I didn't bring it." He goes, like, you always have to have a book with you. Always got to have something with you, so you can even show it. Even if it's bad, I can give you some kind of pointers and stuff. And he spent so much time with her talking about how to get in, how to do stuff, what his experiences were, that the opportunities that and the history these people went through are unique. And so you hear all this stuff and you go like, okay, so what can I do? How can I get involved? And it's like, I always look back that, like I said, Paul Abrams was one of the first people to give me some support. And the other one was, and I embarrass him all the time about this, is Keith. Keith Williams, in that if he had not done what he did for me, it was something really simple, which was I was just starting to get my Instagram up, a little few I maybe had like 50 people following me, and that one day that he came in and he started following me, and I was like, holy shit, this is Keith Williams. What the hell? He's looking at this crap, and I remember in 2018, no, 2017 or 2018. I think it was 27. It was 2017. Yeah, 2017. I met him at New York Comic Con, and I went up to him. I said, I am so appreciative that you did that follow that of your man of your caliber. I don't see why you would, but I appreciate it. And I'll never forget what he said. He said, I like to follow people that I think have potential. And that enough was to put me on a path to say, I can do this, I think. Let me try to give it and that generosity is what has led to us to being, friends for so many years. He probably regrets it now. He said,
I doubt it. I don't believe Keith Williams has a bad in his body.
I absolutely agree, man. It's like we always tease him. It's like he's got that smile, but he's behind. I can't wait to kill these people. I'm going to knock them dead when they get least suspected. But no, because I got to tell you, I wish he was here because I would like like to bother him with this, but on Sunday when I was getting packed up and I'm getting ready to go, and I went over to his table to say, "Well, buddy, I'll see you next week at Garden State and stuff." He gives me this big hug and a handshake. He says, "Enrique, I have had the best time here at Heroes, and I gotta thank you for it, because I have been bugging him for years. You gotta do the show, man. You want me to talk to the people?" And he had such a great time. And we actually went out to dinner with his wife, and he felt, and I was like, it was one of those weird times that I felt like the person that's like, here's a tour. I'm doing the guide. I'm the tourist guide. Hey, check this out. Look over here. Look at this, because I love the city so much. And Charlotte, I love hanging out there and doing that show. That even if I don't make any money, just to go there and have fun with everybody and meet everybody. And every year I pick up something different, something new that I wasn't expecting to get. And like last year, I was able to pick up that big Frank Frazetta book that came out.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get my copy there. And this year I got Jared Cullen to do a watercolor for me, and it just blew me away what he did for me. And like I mentioned to Ralph here, that I got Dennis Cowan to do a piece for me I've been wanting for years. So it's like, we may be artists, we may be all involved in the same thing, but like you guys were saying, that we're all still geeks, we're all still fans.
Definitely. Yeah.
And that means, Enrique, then that you have a responsibility to pass on your fame and fortune to people.
That's a good one. Eventually.
Len's like, the creative reach around. We got you, buddy.
No, but it's like, yeah, I mean, it was like, even like Len and all these people I met along the way, they've all been doing the same stuff, trying to improve, trying to grow, banging their head against the wall. You know, it's like, to the point that when I look at where I am, and I'm approaching 60 now, and so I'm like, can we keep going this far? And then I go look over at the corner, I see Keith keep doing it, like, and every week he's at a damn show. I'm like, I probably could pull it off for a little while longer. But it's like, yeah, like I once had this vision. Yeah, I want to be doing Marvel and DC, but I'm at the point that now I just want to be able to finish a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Writing.
And work on that first, you know. So
Len says he would gladly take his fame and fortune, pass it on, my friend.
And it's funny because so many times I was with, I'm going back to this because Heroes was just last week, so it's easy for me to go back to what I was having dinner with. Jeff DeSantis, who's going to be at this show. I think he is eating. I don't think he is this week. I think he's not doing it this week. No, he is doing it. Jeff DeSantis and another friend of mine, Jay from Ohio. He has this other book. It's called Mess. He's a Filipino, and his characters are Filipino, so it's a very interesting book. And I hadn't seen him because I usually do shows in Cincinnati, but I haven't done Cincinnati in 2 years. And he was sort of like, yeah, man, you know, we were talking at the table, talking shop, and he goes like, yeah, man, but you know, you featured artists, you know, you get all the gigs. I go like, I'm looking around, who are you talking to? Because there's some impression people think, because I'm hanging around all these guys, that I'm a featured person all this time, and I'm not. It's like, I do a really good marketing job, because I told them, well, then it's working. Because that's the whole idea, make it look like I'm bigger than I am, but I'm not, you know. But it's like
marketing.
Yeah, I'm really good at it. You know, I'm really good at it. So they're like, yeah, the perception. And it was funny because people like Uko was like, hey, Enrique, so you'll be heading over to the after party? I'm like, and I'm like cracking, I'm looking at him. Wait, what? What's the after party for? Featured artist, right? And then I'm silent, and he goes like, "You're not a featured."
Guys, I hate to do this, but I gotta check out because I gotta get up and go to work in about 6 hours.
No problem, Bruce. Tell the people where they can find you, all the good stuff. Go for it before you get out of here.
I don't remember my booth number, so I'm back in the corner. I know that. You know, just walk around till you see wood. If you see paper, it's the wrong place.
You
I'll
know,
find you, Bruce. Don't worry. I'll
You gotta-
meet you in person, so we're good.
All right.
you know,
I'm
walk
looking forward
around till you see
guys.
wood. That's
I'm
the
looking forward
line, man.
Everybody
I
tomorrow.
like that. See Wood.
All right.
Go check him out.
Thanks for
See
having
Wood.
me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.
Right?
Good night, Bruce.
Yeah, walk around until you see wood. My God.
I
that
like
is-
that. Walk around till you see Wood.
wood.
Folks, he's there at the convention. You can't miss him. His stuff is unique. You should go check him out. I can't say enough about it. You know, it's Sasma Creations, wood burning artist. Dude, these things look like they're actually comic books. They do. They actually do. He does a great job at it. So go check him out. PK, why don't you tell the people where they can find you as well? Might as well start doing this wrap up.
So easy to find because I am in the middle of the show.
Like that.
Like that. You know, if there's a bullseye, it's my table, my friend. It is the dead center. You may hit Keith, he'll take it. So, like I said, you know, I got a commission list that is still available. I will do it there. I know for fact that I got at least 1 or 2 people coming over there tomorrow. I mean on Saturday, but I would really prefer to do it before because that way it'll be nicer. But if not, you can do it. I will do it there. I'm going to have all these little cards again. I'm going to try to get a few more of these sketch cards there, and I'm on. And like I said, a lot of my great little sketch covers are coming up.
I'll put you up so you can show it all off. Hold on. There you go.
Okay, I got this one for a while back.
Ooh, I like that one.
Here. This one actually, this is the second time I've done this one. The first one I did it on a Doctor Strange, but this one I had only a Howard Duck, but it came out so well, I said, we're doing it again. And let me see which other one is pretty cool. Okay, this is actually pretty good. This one there, the Predator.
Yep.
Again, this is coloring. You know, I'm getting used to the coloring part. This one is actually, I don't think it'll be appreciated that much here. It is really, really nice. It has a watercolor feel, even though it's not.
Nice. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say a little bit. This is an idea, and I don't care who finds out about it. I'm gonna tell that I'm really getting tired of all these AI crap.
Definitely.
So what I'm doing is that this is another one I did. People get a kick out of this one. And then I got, hey, the new movie's coming out. You know, hey,
there you go.
This actually was a nice little effect here. I was able to get a little bit of that in there, and hopefully it looks pretty cool.
Looks great.
And then you got Uncle Scrooge as Iron Man because they're both billionaires with attitude. And then this is the one everybody saw a moment ago.
That looks really nice. Yeah.
This is an homage to the George Perez cover.
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah. So so I'm actually that one of that female that was actually somebody posting a Sky Girl as an AI thing, and I'm saying that, you know what, I could do it better, and I took those ideas and I made it into that one. That's why it's on the Rocketeer one. And then now I have a whole bunch of other ones I'm getting ready. I don't know if they'll be ready for the show. I have a Flash Gordon sketch cover, which I'm going to put Dale the female on it.
Oh, cool.
I have a Flash Gordon one. Like I said, right there, I have the Run the Rocketeer one there that I'm thinking about doing something interesting with. I have the wacky races that I was talking about that Mariano did, and I'm going to do an homage to the Dave Stevens Johnny Quest cover. And I'm going to use that as my. So you're going to see Penelope as the female character, which is Jade on the original Johnny Quest, and then Johnny Quest and all the other characters are going to be, and they have a dog, so there could be any characters from the wacky races showing up in there. And I'm going to have something in the villain is going to be in the background, like in a silhouette. So it's a complicated piece. I don't think it'll be ready for the show, but most surely for Terrificon. So, which is my last show of the year for now. So. I'm
a good show. We're going to be there too. So.
Number 66. For some reason, these numbers are really weird. So I'm number 66 because I think they go across or something. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm number 66, and either way, if you see Keith, you're going to see me. There's no other way around it.
That's the good thing. So if you guys,
I just don't know if we're going to be back to back, like him behind me, or we're going to be side by side. Because traditionally we were side by side, so we're looking at each other all weekend. So I don't know how the setup is, but we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow.
So here we go, guys. You see Keith, you'll find Kike.
One way or another. And like I said, the whole group.
You see Ava, you'll find Kike.
Yeah, it's Keith, Blake, and Ava, and they're all involved in the Philandra. So, and I'm gonna have to bitch slap Blake. I'm gonna know why he's getting all my friends and not putting me in there.
Well, that's why you're gonna be next to him, so you should talk him up.
He ain't getting away from me now. No.
Yeah, that way the whole group of you will be all Philandra, and then he's cultivated a group of people next to him that he's utilizing for his comic.
No, he's not using us. No.
No, I said utilizing, not using.
Well, it's a very fancy way of saying the same thing. Yeah. Okay.
Utilizing is a whole different thing. Utilizing means that he's partaking with you guys in a work that it's all together with each other.
That's
using,
perfect.
in other words, is bad. Oh my God! Of course, all of them are going to be right next to him. So if you see any of these guys, you're going to find Kike.
Yep.
And Paul, why don't you tell the people where you're going to be and all the good stuff?
Yeah, we're actually going to be on the vendor side of the house at booth 154. So we're actually right near the Greg Hildebrandt artwork booth. So it's hopefully get some traffic, and that'd be great. I'm really excited about Garden State this year. We get episode 1 fully released out on pretty much all the mobile platforms as well as the desktop. So Android, iOS, PC, and Mac. You can play it pretty much any platform you want. People are liking it. I'm getting good reviews from episode 1. So, and Time Enforcers is where learning history is fun. It's really meant to be a video game to help kids learn about history, but also have a fun time doing it. And there's no better way to educate someone than to gamify them. And that's what Time Enforcers is all about. And we're excited that, we have a bunch of merch that we're going to have at our table. It's all Time Enforcers related official merchandise. We have a new t-shirt that we've developed. It features Chronolith, the bad guy, and it looks really cool. We actually have what we call a blip chip that was developed by Russ at Game of Tunes. It features our character, the Inquisitor. So hopefully I can sell a few of these. They're kind of fun. So if you like the fidget stuff, this is a lot of ways to entertain yourself in the wee hours of the morning. And then, we have, in addition to that, we've got pet bandanas that are featuring Togo. So Togo's a new character that was voted on last fall in terms of which should be a new Time Enforcer agent for the game. And Togo, the sled dog from the 1925 Serum Run, came in as the winner. So he's going to be on a pet bandana that we have. And then what else we have offering here? Detective Nico Time is going to be a new character in episode 2, which is currently in development. It's actually going to be voice characterized by Rafael Tavares, which we're excited about. And so, Detective Nico Time is actually based on the old Sam Spade, Philip Marlowe characters from the 1930s and 40s from film noir. And what's great about Nick is he's in grayscale, and anything he touches that's in color will turn to grayscale. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this project. It's really a passion of mine. I really have always grown up liking learning history. And after COVID and saw what my son went through, and the educators to that point really thrown into the fire, and learning history is not fun. It really wasn't. It was a chore, and it really broke my heart, because if you really take the time to go back and learn about these other eras, these other people, and what they actually did, it's amazing. And I think it helped inspires, future generations to do great things, because you can see what people had done in the past, and you say to yourself, well, why can't I do that as well? So that's what I love about learning about history. I grew up with it. And, this is before the age of the internet, and I had to go to the library to get books. So it shows you how passionate I am about this. It's just really, it's something that's near and dear to my heart. So I really hope that people come by, check out our booth, check out our merch. You'll see a couple of characters from the game. Professor C.T. Haugens, who doubles as Doc Brown from Back to the Future, will be there, along with Amelia Earhart, who is going to be featured in episode 2 of Time Enforcers. So we're all excited. It's going to be a blast, and I can't wait to meet new people and tell them about what Time Enforcers is all about.
Len said, fantastic work, Paul. Love what you're doing.
I'm going to drop by.
I
He
appreciate
also said that he's going to be between Blake and Ava. and of course, if you guys are looking for a nice Sergeant Slaughter piece to go get signed, you can go talk to Len.
Hey, one last thing, if I can, before we go.
Go for it.
I'm going to do my last plug. I'm going to plug my daughter. This is her book.
Cool.
This is her book. And it's funny because I'll go into something real quick. But this is her book. This is the one she did for her senior gallery. So she had disabilities. It's like covering all the different things she has done during the year. And
Nice.
it's like you see like some of her drawings, like paintings and stuff are in there.
That's beautiful.
And I'm gonna have them over there. They're not for sale. They're just there to show off her work, to get her work. So if you want to go check out my work, and you'll be able to look at her book.
Nice.
Inside you will find a little card, so you can go directly to her website. But anyway, anytime you go to the studio, the Art by Kiki Studio link tree, there'll be a link for her there because she's already an employee. A member. So it's going to be a lot of fun to have people look at. I mean, a lot of people have already checked it out, and so hopefully you all enjoy her work as much as everybody else. So it's going to be great to have everybody there, and I'm looking forward to meeting new people. Waiting to see about old friends and stuff that show up, and let's see what happens. Tomorrow I'll be there setting it up. Around 2.
Looking forward to meeting you, Kiki. Definitely. I'll be there.
Folks, this is going to be a great convention. You really have to go check this out. As you can tell, we've been talking about this convention for an hour and a half. And we have had no lack of conversation about this convention. It's an amazing convention. You have to check it out. It's in a new location, easier to get to. You got no excuse. There's a zoo right next to it.
And let's face it, it's going to be warm. You might want to cool off.
Yeah.
It's a good place to do it inside.
It's going to be rainy too, so get out of the rain. Come to the con.
Exactly.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't rain tomorrow while I'm setting up. That's the only thing I want.
Len said, I want a hug at your booth.
Who's he talking?
See you guys soon. I'm going to go back to work. Len, thanks for coming on. Next time you need to be over here on this side. One last thing, guys. My pal Rob Longo has just released an app or a streaming service, I should say, where indie creators can put up their stuff and make some money. So it's called Abracadabra. You guys need to go check this out. It is amazing. I like what he's doing. And we're all in this indie circle, whether it's comic, whether it's film. I like the fact that we're coming together and trying to make something happen for us as indies. I'm tired of the big companies getting all the money. We need to get some of the money. So go do yourself a favor. Go check out Abracadabra. It is fantasy, horror, sci-fi. A lot of beautiful stuff. All independent. A lot of independent filmmakers and fans of fantasy, horror, and sci-fi. So go check it out. I'll make it easy for you guys. I will put the link in the comment section. That way you guys can go check it out.
He did it without asking. He's finally learning.
That's because I always hear that guy's voice in my.
Hey, Alf, why don't you put it in the chat?
There it goes. So, folks, go check it out. We're going to have Rob Longo on soon. I think in July. I think the Monday, July 7th. He'll be on the show talking all about Abracadabra. And the fact that he's going to be on, it came from the radio live that Wednesday of that week. Gotta love it came from the radio with Mark Torres.
Awesome.
Oh, cool. So this weekend, I'm going to see both of you guys. I'm not sure which day I will be there yet. I might be there Saturday. It might be Sunday. But I am making it one of those days.
Awesome.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right.
Always welcome.
Folks, as always, go have fun, go be creative. On this show, when it ends, I press the button, and where it stops,